I just recorded this whole thing, and when I got back to my truck to preview it, for some reason the video was sideways, and I have no idea why. Anyways, I will start over with the beginning of the video. This is the site of the former superintendent's residence of Northern State Hospital, often referred to as the mansion. The mansion was constructed in 1926. Prior to the construction of this mansion, of the superintendent's residence, the superintendent and his family lived in the administration building across the street, which also housed patients, all the administration, a lot of medical stuff, so it became a bit crowded. Walk down the driveway here. I will post a picture from just outside the rock wall of the mansion in its early days, and this tree is just to the left, well, right about where it's at now, obviously, and it's only about 6 or 8 feet tall in that picture, but you could see in the details that the branch structure is the same. It is the same tree. A lot of the landscaping features are still left on this particular piece of property, including the driveway, the sidewalk over there, which we'll walk down on the way back to the truck, and the flower gardens. There was a huge collection of rhododendrons here, from what I understood, or from what I understand. I still understand it. I believe that they were relocated around the property because there are no rhododendrons on this property anymore, but there's some very large ones around the property elsewhere. There's a foundation called the Norlam Foundation that was established years ago. I don't know what year, and the main goal, from what I understand, was to preserve the mansion. Unfortunately, something happened. The story varies greatly depending on who you talk to, but the short version of the story is that the mansion was demolished. It was demolished in the early 1990s, I believe, and this little hill in the grass, as you can see here, is exactly where the mansion stood. Now, this whole property is on the National Historic Register. Every structure on the property is categorized as contributing or non-contributing to the historical value of the property. The mansion currently, since it does not exist, is categorized as non-contributing. By the way, we are following roughly the path of the driveway. The footnote for the mansion does state that when it was destroyed, it was dumped in the basement and covered with dirt. So an archaeological excavation of the site could easily change that designation to contributing, which it does state in the paperwork, because all of the stuff is still preserved under there, and if there was an excavation of it, a lot of the architectural features would probably still be preserved, which I think is interesting. But what's also sad is under that mound in the grass lies a building demolished and buried in its own basement. Walk over here. The other day I discovered that part of the driveway is still here, along with the concrete edging of the driveway. So driveway went roughly around here in a circle and went into a carport looking thing right over there. Back by that stand of alders, there was a little garage that stood. I have not really messed around over there to see if anything's left. If you come over here, there's part of the driveway edging left, and it circles around. Over here. And here's some of the asphalt left over from the driveway. So I imagine there's quite a bit under here. I obviously have not dug around to find out. If you head over this way, there's more of the driveway edging. And here's a piece of the mansion. Still has some of the stucco on the outside and some of the paint. So sad, but part of the mansion does still exist above ground, I guess. Now we'll turn and head over to the west side of the property where the pool is located. I will see you there. This is the west end of the property where the superintendent's mansion once stood. This is the electrical vault. It is still in use. I believe this is where the main power comes into the property. It was constructed about 1926 as well. Mansion used to be right there between those two landscape features. You go this way and you get down to the swimming pool. The swimming pool does still exist. It was not demolished. It has filled in with branches and debris over the years, so most people don't know it's still here. But this is the pool. It's a very large in-ground pool. And here's the east wall of the pool where the water used to go to, and some type of drainage grate that goes over there to the north. If you step down in it, I'm not sure if this was a path right here or if this would have been underwater, but here's still some of the blue paint from the side of the pool. And if you come over here, there's more of the edge that you can see. And it goes all along there. It's part of the concrete upper edge. I don't know if you can see it through there. There's some rocks up there, which we will walk up there now. Okay, I was just standing down there at the bottom. Came up here, and this was a rock path. Goes off into the bushes there, along the north side of the pool, pointing towards the east. The house used to be up there in that bright clearing. Some rocks along here. I do have a picture of the superintendent's family standing over here. I want to say right about where I'm at now. And in the background, there's a lattice work changing room that they used for the pool. And then somewhere there's also a path that had gone up to the left of that changing room that I'm not seeing any remains of. I'm sure it's here somewhere. Here is a concrete, I'm assuming a step or possibly remains of a support for something here. Rocks along the edge. This really cool looking lava rock thing. And this is actually a piece of concrete. I'm not sure where that came from. More what looks like possible concrete steps. From the picture, I want to say that the changing room was right in here somewhere, right next to this enormous laurel, biggest one I think I've ever seen. And in the picture, which I think I probably already posted in the video, there was a telephone pole around here somewhere, which would be a great reference marker, and I have not been able to find the remains of that. But it may still be here somewhere if I look enough. Okay, we're back to the east wall of the pool. And then down here are rocks that were a path that followed the edge of the pool, which of course we'll be stomping through the bushes to follow it. Looks like it went right along here. And you can see the rocks on the left and the pool down here on the right. Concrete edging around the pool. And the rocks. More pool edge. Now we'll head towards the west end of, walk through here, out the west end, and there's this pathway where the main sewer line to the property runs, which is right here. That's what this is. You head south, it comes out into a large field. The other day when I was back here, I discovered that the horse stable had a concrete foundation. This is where the horse stable used to be. You can see some wooden boards on the ground. I'm not quite sure what they were. And here's the remains of a concrete foundation all along here. So it looks to me like there used to be a door on the east side of the building. The wall went around here and cut back this way. And I'm going to guess by the concrete supports here that there was a wall that divided this, or there's a tack room or something, I'm not sure. And then the building was over here, was the west side here. And this whole area was the stable. Dr. Jones's daughter, who grew up in the house, had mentioned that there was a peach tree that was planted over here, and they used the branches of it to help get on the horse, I believe is what she had said. Peach trees only live about 15 to 20 years. It would be long past its lifespan by now. The stable that was here, by the way, was not demolished. The state of Washington owned the property until 2018. I believe about 10 years ago, they actually came in here and they relocated the stable building, and they moved it over next to the powerhouse, and it's currently used to house the man lift that they have for reaching high places. They put new windows in it and painted it and put it on a foundation. So it does still remain. It is on the National Historic Register. It probably wasn't supposed to be moved, but the fact that it's being used and has been repaired puts it in a lot better condition than most of the other buildings on the property. Now, there are plans to develop this property. The plans didn't go as expected. Now the development's going to start more on the west end of the property and eventually move over here. My concern is on the National Historic Register, the documents that are filed for this development say that the things on this property are non-contributing, which is not accurate if you go on the National Historic Register and actually read it. The pool is not listed on anything, which I believe is a huge oversight because it is original to the property. My thought is I would love to see this turned into a park. Keep it nice and mowed. A lot of the landscaping features are still here. They just need maintained. The lawn would be very nice. The mansion site is still there and may eventually be deemed as contributing. So I'd be ashamed to see that destroyed. The sidewalk that led to the mansion, the original sidewalk, is still here. And it runs to under these bushes to at least here, if not further. And then the house was right there. If we go back this way and follow the sidewalk, you can clear all these bushes out and keep the tree and prune it and have the sidewalk going through here for the public. Edge this, clean it up real nice. It'd be a great entrance to a public park, a memorial to the superintendent or superintendents of Northern State Hospital. And then you go through the rock pillars at the end of the walkway and out to the road. My concern with the development of the property, one of many, is that there's a memorial to Dr. Jones on the west end of the property that's supposed to be developed first. And I'm not sure what they plan on doing with that memorial. But if it could be advocated to turn this into a park, this little area would be a great spot for the memorial to be relocated. Or possibly up here, you go up the driveway and put it either at the end of the driveway before where the mansion used to stand, or on the south side of where the mansion used to stand, not on top of it, of course. And possibly turn this into Dr. Jones Memorial Park. Here's a look of the whole area. Imagine how nice this would look as a public park. Also does not seem like it'd be difficult to maintain. I think people should clear out around the pool, trim the bushes back, clean the pool out. Obviously you could never use it as a pool again, but plant Lithidora in the bottom of it. It's a bright blue plant. It's really hardy and it would look like water. It'd be very symbolic. But this is the history and present state of the superintendent's residence property, also known as the mansion.